Welcome to another episode of Alphawaves.
Episode
We're
number.
not doing that anymore. What? Why?
I feel like it's close to being a
You've
maybe
got
not.
to bring something new to the intro.
I think it's close to being a significant number.
Really?
I don't know.
Then why bring... We did not need to go here again every week. Anyway, welcome to another episode. And since, you want to disrupt us, why don't you tell the people what we're talking about today?
We are talking about the joys of unwanted attention and everything that comes with it. Mm-hmm. So, being somebody that gets a lot of attention, I think I should start this episode. I'm joking.
I knew you were going to say that. Go on.
No, I'm joking. Do you have anywhere you want to start in particular? How do you feel about unwanted attention, first of all? How do you deal with it? Are you like, there's like two types of people, yeah? The people that try and do the whole naive thing, like, oh no, they don't like me, just like the other. And then there's the other one that gets like,
but it's dangerous when you're like thinking that someone okay, so let's talk about subtle unwanted attention, like say in a workplace or something like that, like a neutral place. It's so dangerous to like in those situations, unless it's super obvious in like an inappropriate way, I just don't like to assume that someone is giving me unwanted attention,
right,
just in case.
But is it unwanted attention?
They are
or
just
is it
friendly.
Just attention?
Let's start there, actually. What do you mean by unwanted attention?
So unwanted attention to me is either from somebody that you don't want attention from, or at a time when you don't want attention. Does that make sense? At a time in your life where you don't want attention, whether that's you're in a relationship or you're just focusing on yourself, etc. Or it might just be you're in an inappropriate setting, like those kind of things.
Okay, so with unwanted attention at a time where you don't want it, I feel like I just hate it so much. Like it's such a, because it does happen. Like so the unwanted attention that I don't like the most is from someone who you've already rejected. Because you're just like, we're not friends.
But yeah, in that setting type of situation, let's do what we do, hypotheticals. This person's
bring
approached
back
you.
The hypotheticals. let's do that.
This person's approached you. You sort of getting along, like amicable, not friends, but you're just cool, yeah.
They've approached me in public.
No, as in, I'm trying to make it a setting where you're going to see them repeatedly. So let's say work. Work. What's another place that you go frequent? Gym? Or did that stop?
Do you think I'm going to...
Well, you was going and then, I don't know. Innit?
It's on pause. I'll be going back soon.
Yes. You could have just said yes.
Fine, yes. I go to the gym.
Where is somewhere that you go often?
I don't know. Like, I guess... Oh, a coffee shop, maybe?
Okay. And the person serving you, say it's the same person there all the time.
Okay.
Or is that broken your dynamic straight away?
Wait,
Whatever.
hold on. Work would probably be the best place.
All right, let's say work, yeah? Because I wanted to use work for a different example on you. But let's say work. We'll just use work constantly.
I don't do many things regularly.
But work hard. I like that. Cool.
Yes. You know what? Just use a hypothetical on yourself. We're just exposing that I'm a boring person.
Let's say now, yeah?
Yeah.
Work. There's somebody there who's like getting along, you're cool. They've expressed that they like you and you've kind of shut them down like, oh no, whatever. Just because you said that doesn't mean that they're going to stop liking you.
Yes, but they can stop annoying me.
But how do they know that they're annoying you if they're just continuing their behavior? All you've done is said, no, this can't go any further. doesn't mean I have to stop what I'm doing, does it? If they're not doing anything that's like intrusive or, you know what I mean?
It depends on what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, say if they're just talking to me as a friend would, and then they've expressed interest and I'm like, no, of course they can continue talking to me because we had that already. But if I'm already not enjoying the conversations or not wanting to talk to them and they've expressed interest and I'm like, no, you know, I don't want to speak to you.
What if it's like because they're interested in you, they notice certain things that you like. I don't know.
I'll throw it in the bin.
If they start bringing it for you.
Yeah, of course, because it's a bribe. Seriously, I don't like it. Like, I get so
But say if you used
uncomfortable.
to accept it initially before you knew that they liked you, then they've said that they like you, and they're like, oh, this can't go no further, whatever, and they just continue to bring it.
This is such a mad hypothetical.
I
I
know.
just can't picture it.
I know, it's a bit mad.
I'll give you a hypothetical. So, say you met someone. Say you.
Yeah.
It's just your friend. No, it's a hypothetical. So, say you've met someone at like a party or whatever, and you are single. Like, that's also in the hypothetical. Like, you're an available person. You've met someone, say at a party or a wedding or whatever.
Yeah.
You hit it off. You went on a date. And like you, after that date, you're like, actually, I'm not interested. And you've expressed that you're not interested. How would you feel if that person still messages you from time to time just to say, hey, how you doing? Or blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, or ask you like, when are you free?
Not for you. So I've met this person. We started speaking. We've gone out on a date. On the date, I've realized I don't really like this person, right? Have I told him this?
Yes.
I've made it crystal clear.
I feel like you should, because I personally believe that if someone is interested in you, you have to nip it in the bud if you're not interested in them, you know, like go talk to someone else, you know.
You're telling them to go talk to someone else.
Go back out in the sea.
Oh, I thought you just meant like you're just going to go talk to someone else.
No, like for them, go talk to someone
okay,
else.
yeah. So I'll do all of that, and they're still adamant on talking to me, and adamant on meeting up. But we're not.
But trying to present it like we're friends, you know, like.
Yeah,
I'll be real. That's not hypothetical. That's what's happening right now, and I'll tell you my thoughts. Huh?
In your life,
yeah,
that's what's happening.
And it's so annoying. It's really, and it seems like such a minor thing, but it's so intrusive because I just do not like it. Like, if we are not friends, we don't. Prior to this, if it will be different if prior to this we were already having like interesting conversations and stuff like that, because then I'd say, yeah, there's something here that I still kind of want. Like, let's carry on talking like that. Stop asking me how I am.
What is wrong with him knowing how you are?
Why do you need to know? We're not friends.
So have you
If on the date I haven't kissed the person, expressed any interest, and then told them afterwards there is no interest, you know, there's only so many times you can politely say, oh, I appreciate you reaching out, or I appreciate you.
So have you kind of like cancelled all lines of communication, or have you left that open?
Well, I didn't.
You've not really got a reason to say stop messaging me, have you?
Exactly. So I haven't said like stop messaging me all the time.
Have you been slow with your responses?
Yeah. Or completely non-responsive, but I don't like ghosting people.
I mean, in situations like that, you can only be as clear as you can be in terms of like you stated your intentions. They want this to go any further. Just slow up your replies. Just keep slowing up.
I just deleted WhatsApp.
For one person.
Well, just in general, because I was
childish.
like... No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It wasn't just because of them.
That's like BlackBerry days when people used to turn their picture black. Like, what?
Or a Snapchat
We know you're
where
still
it's
there.
all dark and you're just playing diamonds dancing,
Yeah,
like
man.
letting everyone know that there's something going on.
We know
No,
you're still
it's
there.
obviously
What's going
not
on?
just because of this one person, but
Oh, so this is why you... Anyway, let me not even blow you up. thought it was weird that I received
no more exposure.
An iMessage.
I'm surprised you didn't already assume that I deleted
didn't, you know?
No, you know what? I do delete my WhatsApp from time to time when I'm feeling drained in life and I just need a break. But also, if I didn't keep getting unwanted...
Sorry, I need to pause you. Do you know how funny it is? Because you messaged me, was it yesterday? When I messaged?
Yeah.
You messaged me,
Wait,
then,
was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Before we spoke. And then you messaged me again today.
iMessage still.
But it didn't register that it was iMessage, and I was busy at the time. So then I've gone into my WhatsApp. I'm like, I'm sure Cam messaged me, and I couldn't see the message. But now it makes sense. Sorry, go on, carry on with your story.
That's actually so funny. Yes, so connecting those dots today, I have deleted WhatsApp.
Okay,
but it's never for a super long time. It's just for how long I want when, you know,
Is this
whatever.
your alternative to blocking someone? Because you don't want to be that person anymore.
Yes.
Is it that intense that this person messaged you?
It's not like, no, it's not. Just to make it clear. Okay? Just to take back
you opened
the
these
conversation.
kind of words. You opened it.
Just to make it clear, I have not deleted WhatsApp just because of this one person.
Okay, cool.
But I have deleted WhatsApp because I needed some headspace in general. So I only want to talk to people who know me, have known me, that are easy to talk to when I want to because, you know, whatever. But having people message you when you don't want to be messaged adds to that drained feeling for me.
Okay.
So it's so annoying. And the thing with this person is that I don't know why they keep doing this, but they keep really posing themselves as my lifelong friend. Do you know what I mean?
How so?
By saying, like, say I aired them and then they'll message again like, you're quiet, that's not like you. I'm like, I've been in your life for 2 months. You don't know what I'm like.
Was you talkative? Was you talkative at the start?
What do you mean?
Like before you lot met up and that was you?
We haven't spoken in a minute. Like even when we were talking at the start, there were gaps. Do you know what I mean? Like it wasn't consistent for me.
So maybe this person is just a bit obsessed.
I don't know, but it's unwanted attention 101. Because the thing is, when you have unwanted attention, it's exhausting.
So when is enough enough? When is enough enough? I said it right. Yeah. When is enough enough? Like when does there come a point?
The first time you message me when I don't want you to.
No, I mean like when does there come a point when you're just like, stop messaging me, please? When does that come? Or does that not come? You just go to blocking and ghosting.
I never ghost, but I do block. Just to be clear again, I think enough is enough when I feel truly irked, where like I'm looking at their message and I feel angry, like, oh my God, stop messaging me. Like I don't want to have to get back to you. And it comes with a weird energy.
Do you know why it's awkward though? It's because you've met up with this person on a let's see how this go thing. Go vibe, sorry.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go the way that they would have wanted it to.
Yeah.
In terms of you not being interested. Like you've been talking, building up to meeting up.
But that's what I mean. Like they've been so inconsistent because even then they were like, oh, I'm not really sure what I want. Like blah, blah,
yeah, but
blah.
they met you in person and they obviously was like, yeah. And you was like, no. Do you know what I mean? It's different when you're just talking. You might see someone, you might meet someone on wherever, exchange numbers and you're just talking and then it kind of fizzles out. But you was talking, you met, right? You was talking, then you met up.
Yeah.
So it's like you was talking that carried on the momentum. Then you met up. I'm talking about from his perspective, possibly. Maybe not for you, but for him, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you met up and then it's kind of been like a yes to him, but it's a no to you. So that makes it almost...
No, because after
difficult.
we met up, I very clearly said no.
Yeah, you said no. He didn't say no.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So it's a bit
like
difficult.
For him.
I feel like I don't know. I can't speak for everyone. But I feel like a lot of people have been in that situation where you've gone and met somebody and it's a no for you. but it's
but
a
that's
yes for them.
happened to me too. Like when I've met someone and it's been a yes for me and a no for them. Do you know what I mean? Like that does happen, and it's not rare. Like it does happen. And when it's a no for them, you just have to charge it to the game and move on. Like you cannot keep infringing your presence on someone's day.
You should do. But some people don't know how to. Remember as well, some people don't know how to deal with rejection. So you might just be turning a blind eye to the rejection and just trying to keep.
I don't like it. And I don't like when people pose as my friend because I feel like it's manipulative.
But you know what they're doing though, so it shouldn't really get to you in that sense. But so I'm just trying to think.
Another hypothetical. No, I'm joking. I don't have any.
Oh, see, no, I was just trying to think. So basically, let's say now someone is showing you attention in a place that you think is inappropriate. I know a lot of women don't like to be approached in the gym.
Yeah.
That's one place, but there's also that exception to the rule, or what's the word I'm thinking of? When you allow something to go because you like that person, or you like, do you know what I mean? Like normally you would say
you'll
no.
make an exception.
Yeah, well, that's basically what I said, an exception
Is
to
that
the
what
rule.
you said?
Anyway, let's say a place anyway. Gym, what do you say? Place of worship.
Yeah. I don't know why I said
Yeah.
I thought you never heard that. We can move on. Yeah.
No, but it's somebody that you find attractive, but the situation and the setting makes you think this is inappropriate. Let's say even you work somewhere, they put you in a different situation.
Oh, like say if you find a customer or a client attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
And they are showing you attention, but it's kind of like unwanted because this isn't the right setting for it.
It's not really unwanted.
This is what I was going to get onto. This is exactly, you beat me to it. Because I was going to say, you hear it a lot of the time where it's like, oh, I don't like, etc., etc. But when it's somebody that matches your liking, you make that exception to the rule.
Not always, because actually, if I was at the gym, I would hate it if someone attractive spoke to me while I'm at the gym, because that is when I look the least attractive every time. I'd make no effort. I don't look good when I'm working out. I'm obviously at the gym for a reason. So it's just,
But this is, I'm glad you said that. I want to get into the psyche of that, There's somebody that you like. They've approached you, but because you within yourself don't feel like at your best or whatever, you feel bad about it. But shouldn't it be a confidence boost that the person that you find attractive has come and spoke to you in a setting where you don't feel that you're at your best?
Yeah, but imagine if you were painting a wall or something. I know this is really random, and then it spilt on you, and then someone attractive walks by and talks to you. Would you not hate that?
No. Why would I hate that? You like me.
Because you want them to see you.
Yeah, that will come.
When you feel...
You see me at a point where I know that I'm not my freshest, and you still can see that I've got a little something, you know?
Yeah.
You see it as... Why now? What do you mean why now? I'm still speaking to you. It's not like...
I would find... No, you know what? I'm too suspicious. I would be like, why now?
But it's not like... All right, say you're in that setting now, and then you spun around and you bumped into them, and then you're like, oh, why now? Because that's different, right? But if somebody's actually come and spoken to you, taking time out of their day to come and speak to you and how you look, you don't feel like that's a confidence boost. I'm not even just picking on you, because there's a lot of girls that say that, and I think it's crazy. How can you not see that as a confidence boost?
I'm sitting with it. It's an interesting perspective. But no, like, I don't know, because it's like, okay, so I'll give you an example of unwanted attention in the gym is when I'm in the steam room, and I hate it when I'm in the steam room and it's just me and one other guy, and I know they're going to strike up conversation. And it's always, oh, do you work around here? Do you live around here? And I can't breathe. I
don't want... What if someone that you find super attractive in that moment?
It's the steam room.
So this...
All you know is that I'm a woman. No one can see each other in the steam room.
You might have that super sniper vision though, like you know. He might have seen you on the gym floor and seen that you went there.
No, first of all, I'm never in the gym floor. Let's get that down as a fact.
You go to a leisure centre.
Okay, don't expose everything. Who sent you? Why are you?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing today? Exposure. No. But no, so yeah, that is a place where I feel like, because you have to have a sense of, because I think if you're attracted to someone and you can see that they're in a situation that is quite uncomfortable, I also think it's a little selfish to just talk to them when you know that they're uncomfortable right now. Can't you just wait a little bit and see me in the cafe when we're done out of here?
Sometimes, but sometimes people just got to strike in the moment. Like that might be the opportunity where it's just you two. Do you know what I mean?
All you've done is piss me off because it's so hard to breathe in there already.
Yeah, but that's an extreme place.
Detox.
What about on the train? That can be an uncomfortable situation. Or where if someone was speaking to you on the train, would you find that like unwanted attention? Like this is not the right time?
If it's someone I did not want to talk to me, I would be so scared. Like, why?
Someone you find attractive. That's the bottom line here, because it's easy to say no when it's not someone that you don't find attractive. But someone that you think is quite nice looking and he speaks to you on the train, would you be okay with that? Or would you find that like uncomfortable?
It depends on how busy the train is. Because I don't want everyone
obviously not rush hour. Rush hour is just crazy.
Right? Being like that close to... I'd be like, you're attractive, but you're weird. Why are you...
No, that's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Not super busy, but there's enough people on the carriage for them to know what's going on.
I don't know. I'm a private person. I don't like...
That's what I mean. I think settings does come into it.
It does come into it because it gets uncomfortable. How would you feel on a train?
I don't know, I was thinking about it recently.
Yeah.
Like...
Because that's as public as you can get, really, is a train.
But it's different if you're on the receiving end than if you're the one pursuing. And obviously, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be the one pursuing as a man. Some girls can make it obvious, but... Yeah, I was just thinking about
so how do girls make it obvious on the train that they want your attention?
I've never done it. We trying to do that.
Who said me, huh?
No, in all seriousness. I don't know.
No, but can you tell, like...
You can get an inkling that somebody's looked at you and thinks that... I don't know, that you're... I can't say that they like you, but
that they want you to talk to them. How can you tell? Like, what are the signs? You can't.
On the train, I don't think you can, because people look around.
Yeah.
But I think there's times when you're on the train and you can see somebody and you might catch each other's eye or whatever, and you can...
So romantic.
You can just be like, they probably wouldn't mind me speaking to them. But I wouldn't do it. Even if I was single. I wouldn't.
Why?
It's just a weird place to me. It's just like an unwanted...
It just feels quite...
Put it this way, if a girl came up to me, this is all hypotheticals obviously, a girl came up to me on the train, and even if she was standing there and like right next to me and I just saw her look in my face or whatever and she's like hi or whatever, I just want to get that conversation over with so quickly, like, because it's just...
I would get off at the next stop.
It's a bit unwanted right now.
Yeah.
It's not really the...
Also on the train, I'm just trying to listen to my music or do whatever it is that I do when I'm there, And
also... I'm not trying to have a super long conversation with you, so like,
no,
let's make this as quick as possible. Like, take my number or I take yours, and you can go sit down, because I don't want to be like, imagine you got like 5 more stops and you're both standing there.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to have that conversation.
And you can't have that kind of because those conversations, like when you're talking to someone like that, they're not awkward, but they are a bit. It's a. It's a weird thing. Yeah. How can you do that on the train?
And you can't gauge if someone's going to find it even if they find you attractive, it might be a situation where they feel like it's an awkward place. So imagine going to approach someone, you think they like you, and it's like, this is unwanted attention right now.
Exactly. And you don't know where someone's going or where they've come from.
Literally. So yeah, settings does play a part.
Setting plays a huge part in unwanted attention.
It's just like there must be some professions where you're dealing with people all the time, yeah? And
I've got a good one.
Like what?
So say if you work in a customer service role over the phone or something, and you're speaking to the customer, and sometimes you do get people on the phone, and it hasn't just happened to me, it's happened to other women as well, where say if you call like a male customer or whatever, sometimes they'll flirt on the phone, and it is so uncomfortable when you're trying to be professional. Flirting
on the phone with just voices in the day and age of catfish is wild to me.
So wild. It's too much. Like
back in the day, I get it. But there's a lot of people whose faces don't match their voice.
It's so inappropriate. Like if a female person, like salesperson or customer service person has called you up, just don't flirt with them on the phone. When it happened to me recently, my manager was listening in on the call because I'm obviously new, so they're listening for part of training. And she was just like, oh, lol, like, what is going on?
Yeah, see, that's a bit...
It's a lot. And this guy was like, if you're ever in Greece, do you want to grab a coffee?
Greece?
I was like...
That sounds like a paycheck.
No, you're just giving me sugar dad vibes.
That's what I said. You just missed out on a paycheck.
And I've spoken to you now. I know you don't have the money, so...
So disrespectful.
A fact is a fact, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Phone situation is different. But imagine being a nurse or a practitioner or something.
Yeah.
And you've just got all these clients showing you attention.
I think it's rude. I think you shouldn't. I have a strong opinion on that because someone's at work.
But would you ever break that? Like if you was the person working and then you've got somebody that's coming into you and you find them super attractive, when do you think it's okay to break that?
It depends on the job. It depends on the job. Because I knew this one person who worked in like a supermarket store, like Tesco, Sainsbury's, whatever. And there was a construction site near them. So at lunchtime, the construction guys would come, and there was one in particular who would flirt with her sometimes. And it wasn't unwanted because she also liked them. But I like her story because she was on her lunch break once. Like she wasn't working behind the cashier thing. And he'd always talk to her, blah, 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 like have a little joke when she was working behind the till. And then she was getting her lunch at the thing, you know, where all the sandwiches are and stuff. And that's when he spoke to her when she was like out of her uniform or whatever and, you know, available to talk to you. And I think that's okay because they're not working right now because you have to respect the fact that someone is having to be professional.
So wait, say like you're in like a very, I like to use the nurse or the doctor example, yeah? Because that's like a client. It's meant to be... What's the word? I mean, confidential type of place, yeah? Say you catch them on their lunch break. Does that now make it okay?
No, I don't know.
You don't think so? You wouldn't break it for that? I'm putting you in their shoes. You're the nurse. Or the doctor or the practitioner or whatever. There's someone that you like that comes in, that's one of your clients. You like them. Imagine being a therapist and one of your clients is like someone you find super attractive.
You can't. And the reason why you can't in jobs like that is because you're in a position of a duty of care to this person. Do you know what I mean? Even in therapy, like it's a known thing. It's called transference, where people sometimes do, if they have had like certain traumas or whatever, they do sometimes end up feeling like they like their therapist. And it really is their job to keep it professional because there's a duty of care
that
there.
Must be like a lot of unwanted attention.
Yeah, you know.
You know what their truth.
But anyway, so I feel like there's a level of appropriateness, and I think people need to pay more attention to that and how the position that they're putting the other person in, you know.
But I don't think much thought goes into it because when you're approaching someone, you're not thinking that, are you? Because that will automatically shake your confidence. If you think, this person might not want me to speak to them right now, then you're going to second guess it and not speak to them.
And that's exactly what you should do.
Yeah, but if you don't, if you're
second guess that.
You can't say that. Then nobody would approach anyone in the world.
No, people can approach people, not at work though.
But you don't know when you're going to see someone again.
Then you
got to chance it. For every knockback, there's going to be a success story.
No, I don't think it's fair. It's not fair to like put someone in an uncomfortable position when they're trying to do their job.
But you're going to be uncomfortable for like 2 minutes. This person's going to have to carry that for the rest of the day if it goes wrong.
That's their problem. Why would they think it would go right if someone's at work and you're trying to flirt with them at work?
What's the worst that can happen?
If you're trying to just flirt and make a little joke or whatever. No, I don't know. I still stand by what I say, because unless that person is also returning the energy, then it is not consensual. Like you have to, it's not just like you got to shoot your shot now, blah, 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 all the time. It's a power thing. Like you can't do that. You have to, there's a balance to it, you know, because that's the same as catcalling. If you look at it in a particular way,
so extreme comparison.
It's not an extreme comparison to me, because the underlying energy is the same. Like it's a power thing. Like you're doing something that someone else hasn't insinuated that they want. Do you know what I mean?
Silence is deafening.
Well, say something then, because I'm still standing by what I say. Like it's the same. Like you can't just.
Do you know why it's an awkward one? Because like I hear where you're coming from, yeah. But you're missing the perspective of somebody that's gone into a place, seen someone that they like, that they might not get a chance to see again, and have thought, let me just try. It might work, it might not.
An ownership thing too, though, like, or an entitled thing, because it's not like. Firstly, it's not that deep if you see someone you like, because you don't know them. Some people it is. It's not that deep.
It might not be to you, but to some people it is. Like literally, to some people it is. Like I've seen somebody, I've taken a liking to them. You've had a little small talk.
Okay, that is different. If you've spoken a little bit, yeah. But if you've just seen someone,
that makes it even more of a case. Like if you've not,
you need to walk me through this. Right, what do you mean?
Imagine, you're out on your day, and you see somebody. It's kind of hard for you to, you know why I don't think you see it is because this isn't about like stereotypical, but you're a woman.
And as a woman,
you don't do the approaching.
Yeah, but
Rarely.
As a woman, right. Okay. That's glad why. You said that, because as a guy, to me, when I'm hearing, I see someone I like, I'm just going to go talk to them, blah, blah, blah. To me, that is an entitled thing, because you're not considering what position you're putting that woman in. You don't know if she has an annoying relationship with her manager, if she's having a hard day.
All right, so you're talking about strictly at work.
You're assuming that you're going to cheer her up. And I'm not saying you as in you. Like,
are you talking about specifically at work?
Yeah, specifically at work.
But any other setting is okay for a man to have that mentality of, let me just try. Any other setting's okay, but work is a bit different because you're entering their professional space.
Well, I need to see.
I tried to dress that up for
any
you
other setting is too broad for me to say yes to. So you're not going to trap me.
All right. So,
but one thing I will say is this whole time I have been speaking specifically about work.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So, all right, cool. Fair enough.
Especially if you don't know if the other person hasn't expressed any interest back, you know?
So a professional setting, you think is always going to be inappropriate to try and approach someone?
I think so. Okay. Unless you can, say if you go to someone and you're friendly and whatever, and you're just gauging if there's interest and they're also kind of showing you interest back, then that's different. Then you can take it a tiny step further. But I also feel, you could ask something like, do you have a business card or something like that, or a work email, and dress it up. I don't know, or something.
Well, we're trying to not make this professional.
And keep it. No, but you have to respect where they are,
Okay. But do you think some professions allow it more than others? Like, let's say a bartender, a barmaid. Is that the right terminology? Yeah.
I don't know.
Somebody that works behind the bar. Right. Like, obviously, I could just pluck an example out of a movie or something, where they're speaking and then it's like, oh, what time do you get off? And they build up that type of rapport, yeah?
That I don't think is bad, actually. Going back to the work example, like if someone is a tiny bit interested back or whatever, and you're like, oh, what time do you get off? That's, I don't know. You're putting me in a weird position. Because
you know
even
what I'm gauging?
then, I feel like
the setting and the profession matters to you. That's what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, and it does. Like, and as a woman, like, you just want to go through your day undisturbed. Do you know what I mean? You just want to do your job. Like, there's so much to focus on at one time. Like, even that small example of the guy on the phone, it was funny and everything, but it was like, I'm just trying to do my job. This is really hard for me right now. And you've wasted all my time on this phone call when I could have spoken to a serious client. Do you know what I mean? Just because you liked my voice, like what is, or because you're bored or whatever. Who knows what your reason is?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like, and saying is important. Like even things like just use common sense. Like, is this a comfortable position? If you're waiting for a train, it's a little bit different. If you're on the train, just let people go home in peace. If you're in the steam room, I'm not here to talk. I'm not here to socialize. I'm here to detox and relax. It doesn't matter how good looking you are. I can't see you anyway,
I get where you're coming from. This is interesting because I think different settings would apply for different people.
So how is it, okay, let's say hypothetically, if we turn the tables around, how would it be like for you, say if you were at work and someone was giving you unwanted attention?
Someone that I work with, or just someone.
Let's do a customer first to stay on the same track.
Do I find them attractive?
Yes.
That will play a big part. Let's be honest. In this hypothetical, that will play a big part. It depends, Again, if I'm like, the setting matters, of course, and my profession matters. So if I'm like a doctor or something, then I'll try and keep that, because your reputation will then be affected by it, right? Could potentially be affected by it. If you're like a doctor that's just out here
flirting with their clients,
and the rest of all your clients,
yeah.
But if you're working in like I don't know, I'm trying to think of a setting. Anything that's you got a client base, I don't know, a gym teacher or
a PT, a personal trainer. Why are you obsessed with the gym today?
I don't know, but
okay, let's say personal trainer.
A personal again, that's like a client. That's a personal one-to-one basis. I shouldn't really be blurring those lines, right? But if I'm just like working in a shop,
a yoga instructor.
Again, that's too
fine. Okay, fine.
That's too like. Do you know what I mean?
Retail.
Yeah, you can do that because there's like a million. It's not like a one-to-one. You're working like. Do you know what I mean?
True.
Yeah, I think you can do that. Them settings are cool. Bars.
What if you're having a really stressful day?
Coffee? I'm going mad today. I can't speak. What is it called? A cafe.
A cafe.
Yeah. So coffee.
Or a coffee shop.
Coffee shop, yeah. My terminology's out the window today. Like all of those places, I think they're cool because they're like social settings more. Maybe not.
But you're not being social at the time you're working.
Yeah, I know. But if somebody comes in, it's a quick conversation, cool, we'll carry this on later. Here's my details. Or give me your details. And keep it moving. And there's going to be like a 1,000 more people that will come in here today. Whereas if I'm dealing with you on a one-to-one basis and I'm your PT or something, I think crossing those lines is a bit... You don't really want that because it can
get so messy so quickly. And I think in those things you're trying to build up a clientele and stuff like that. And
even with me, I give you a real life example, like with music and stuff, When I reach out and work with singers and that, I don't want that type of attention because that can just blur the lines so easily, right? But if, let's say, for example, there is somebody that is showing me attention, how would I deal with that? That is a good question. I'm asking myself live on the spot. How would I deal with that?
I didn't even need to do anything. I'm like, wow, that's okay. tell us
How would
all.
you deal with that? Because you want, especially with something like, the reason I chose music is because it's so emotionally driven, right? That this person liking you could be bringing out the best in them, right? That dynamic of them, etc., etc. They might want to, do that.
In like a creative way.
Yeah, in a creative way. Like, it might be bringing something else out of them. And you shutting it down could be like a hindrance to that, almost like.
Well, it depends on what you mean. Like, are you there as their facilitator? Like, helping them with what they're doing?
The word facilitator is confusing me right now. In what? In what capacity?
Why is it so hard to speak today?
In what capacity am I there facilitator? Am I just recording them? What do you mean?
Like, what do you mean in terms of shutting down their creativity? Like, how would you be working with someone musically? Like, what do you mean? Like, collaborating on something?
Yeah. Okay. Or even like if I'm managing them or anything of that nature.
Okay.
And they're showing interest, but to me, I don't want that type of interest, right? But that might be sparking some of your music or something. And I'm like, yeah, cool, no, we're not doing that. But to what extent do I do that before I'm like have to be mean? Do you know what I mean? And that could just change the whole dynamics.
Do you get mean? What do you do? Like, so say if someone is giving you unwanted attention in a setting like that and you really don't want it, what would be your steps of shutting that down?
So, like, obviously now in my life now, it's easy for me to shut it down because, well, it's not easy, but I mean in terms of the things that I can do, like I can mention my girl, I can mention my child, I can like do certain things, my home setup,
just
I can
keep
mention
bringing it up.
Yeah, and that should hopefully start to put a downer on your thing. Outside of that, let's say take that all the way hypothetically, I would, because you see me, I'm a person that entertains things to an extent, right? Because I don't want to be super harsh to someone for something like that. Because, like, for you to say that you like me takes some courage, and it's also a compliment, right? To me, myself. So I don't want to be super harsh off the bat, like, yeah, cool, but...
Yeah.
So I entertain...
Because you're dealing with someone's feelings,
yeah.
I guess.
So I guess, in a sense, like... it would be up to an extent. So I would entertain a conversation, but I would not entertain any actions or any plans or any meeting up. I won't initiate talking to you. I won't try and carry on the conversation.
What if they're the kind of person who, because I've not had it happen to me, but I've seen it happen, especially with women giving men attention, where say they're just hanging around at the end of the day, like when you're meant to be leaving, when you leave at the state, trying to keep a convo going for a bit longer.
Situations like that, I'll just always find a reason not to. Like, like I'll speak to, like I've always said, I'll give anyone a conversation, right? Because I don't think I'm like too above anyone where I can't even communicate with you. But once I work out what your intentions are, I'm keeping it moving. I'm very good at that. Like, I can keep it moving very.
Because some people will
quickly
have a conversation with you about anything under the sun, just to take up your time.
Yeah, those settings there are a bit awkward.
I don't know. For me, I'm very firm on like not misleading anyone. So if I can feel attention happening and it is unwanted, I won't be rude or anything, but nip it in the bud is like a mantra for me.
How do you deal with unwanted attention from somebody that you have previous with? So somebody that you might have been with or slept with or had a relationship with, and now they're creeping back up again. How do you deal with that? Because you already had that connection. It's not like out of nothing.
It's true. And you know what? Truthfully, you do have to be a bit more respectful with those people, because something's already happened. Do you know what I mean? Especially if things didn't end on bad terms or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't be rude like that. But I'm just bouncing my mind. I don't know. I'm getting nervous. Like they're going to suddenly come in.
Hey, somebody's on the mind.
No. What was your question? What do I do? If unwanted attention from someone that I've already done something with, you know what? I'll be completely honest. When that does happen, it's actually never unwanted for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the sense of like, oh, it's still flattering. Like, it's kind of flattering that, you know, that they're still interested or you're still on their radar or something.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I'm just trying to think because, So, for instance, there have been situations, like, say if you can tell that they're trying to get more of that convo going, or like when someone's sending you funny memes, but they're all kind of sexual. And you're like, ha ha ha, so jokes. But you know what's going on. With that, I'll just keep it polite, and I do play dumb. Like, I'll just play dumb and keep it moving because, like I said, I don't want to be rude to people that I've already done that with, especially if we haven't ended on bad terms or they never did anything horrible to me or anything like that. Yeah. But yeah, I'll just, if we're still friends, then I'll just it's because I'm remembering other things and I'm like, actually, no, I have done something different.
As in the complete opposite to what you're saying?
Yeah. It's very situational. Like, it depends on who the person is, you know, and how much of a problem they are. Because at the same time, there's two sets of types of people. And there's one type where you are kind of friends and then they come back and it's nice and it's like, you know, it's not really off the table or whatever. Yeah. But, or maybe it is, but you know that they're not like it's okay. Like, they do kind of get the message. Then it's okay to kind of play dumb and not lead them on more. But I'll be honest, like, there are some people actually who you really don't want to do that with again, or they're coming back with like a whole partner and you're like, what are you doing? And those people are blocked.
That just took a turn for the worse. Whoever you are, do that. But
did you say keep it? What did you say?
I'm not even going to repeat it. Well,
but yeah, so those situations, it just depends.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. What would you do
with somebody that I've already had previous with? Those ones, yeah, like you said, you have to kind of be delicate with it because, like, that might have, it's going to sound so egotistical,
but it might have impacted them more. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's why you try to be kind. Yeah.
So you just kind of got to, I would do like a light entertainment, as in, I respond to whatever you send me, or I might just like it, or that's the beauty of social media, especially. If you send me something, I don't even have to respond, just double tap, like, cool, keep it moving. But I'll always acknowledge you, like, I won't just flat out ignore you.
Yeah. But you can't ignore someone that you've already done that with. It's just mean. Like,
unless they're just like putting it on the table that, oh yeah, I want to meet up with you and do X, Y, and Z again, then I can just be like, yeah, nah, that's not gonna happen. That's like when I'll be completely blunt with my shutdown. Yeah. But if it's just a light conversation, I can see you're just trying to flick the light. I can easily just be like,
no, it's off.
Yeah. But I won't like take it out your hands completely. But some people don't get the message though.
That's the thing. That's why, like, you kind of do have to be not necessarily blunt, but upfront. Do you know what I mean? Like, for instance, with the earlier example of the person who, you know, I'd gone on a date with and they're still kind of trying to talk and stuff. And the way that they're doing it is rubbing me up the wrong way, because I can see what you're doing. Like, stop positioning yourself as my new male friend. We're not friends. So it's annoying. But when I sent them the message, maybe I'm changing into a nicer person, but I was just like, I really appreciate you reaching out and stuff like that. But right now I'm just trying to, I'm not on WhatsApp. Like, I'm trying to talk to people that are closer to me.
Give me your number then. Let's talk on the phone.
Actually, no, I didn't say I'm not on WhatsApp because I didn't want them to iMessage me.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I was like, right now I'm just speaking to people that I'm, closer to, just to say like,
you're not in my close
why would you think it's you? You obviously don't think it's you. You're just trying to say that, like, you're trying to position yourself as a friend. And I don't like that, because to me that feels disrespectful. Like, if you're trying to segue what I've said, it means I may as well have just blocked you and said nothing then. Do you know what I mean?
No, I get that.
If you're going to ignore my thoughts and feelings.
Do you know what the worst time to get like unwanted attention is? When it could potentially mess up something that you've got going on. Like, those situations there are terrible.
Oh my God, tell me about that. That's such a good one.
Like, imagine when everything's like, imagine building something with somebody, you're building something with someone, and then you're just like getting this attention that you don't want. But it's not your fault, innit? There's nothing you can do about it. But no matter what, as a girl, would that annoy you? If the guy that you're starting to get to know or whatever has just got all of these messages and all this attention coming to him, he doesn't want it, but it's just coming to him while you two are trying to build something, and you're actively seeing it. Would that annoy you?
Actively seeing it where though? Like in person or
maybe
on social media?
Maybe both, but let's deal with social media first.
I hate it so much, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when I see comments and they're mostly from girls and they're just fire emojis, I'm like, are you a fan, or are you a previous, or are you a low-key current? Like, who are you?
And what if he's like, it's no one, man, I don't even know.
And then
why
they're
she's
liking it and sending like snowflakes back. What's icy? Like, why are you
why does everything have to turn so specific and real?
I can't do hypotheticals. But no, I really don't like it. I definitely get very jealous, but I never take it out on the person. Like, you kind of just have to be okay with it, because
it's out of their control almost.
Huh?
It's out of their control almost.
Yeah, it's out of their control. And then it's also an opportunity for you to just see how they're like with that. Like, how invested are they in building with you? What kind of attention do they give back? Like, are they polite or are they just extra?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can always be extra.
Yeah.
Do you think unwanted attention could ever turn into, what's the word opposite of unwanted? My mind is
wanted. Jeez. What? Dude, what do you need right now? The opposite of unwanted. I don't know. That's a real thinker.
It's been a long day. That's my excuse.
Been a long day.
That's my excuse. Yeah. Do you think unwanted attention could ever turn into wanted attention? Or accepted attention? Warranted
attention. Tolerated attention.
Well received.
Personally, for me, no. Because if I'm not into it, and our conversations, again, like if it's someone where our conversations are already pretty good, then it's a bit different, because you're already getting something out of it. But if it's a chore to talk to you, how is it supposed to get from unwanted to wanted all of a sudden?
Imagine,
I'll tell you how, actually. Go on.
No, go on. Let me hear your reality before I throw a hypothetical at you.
It's not a reality, but if in the spirit of honesty, when I see that that person gets attention, that does change things a little bit.
So when they're popping now, you want to be involved because they're popping.
You know what? We all have a couple of toxic.
Go away.
No, it's still unwanted, but then it becomes, I guess, a little more flattering.
So This person,
you know what? Maybe it's wrong. It is wrong, but I
crazy.
can't lie.
That's crazy. So this person's social status changes.
Because I'm like, all right, there must be something going on with this. Like, well, you know, maybe
wild.
there's something I've missed.
That is wild.
Maybe.
Is that like, this is tight, this is segueing, but we'll come back. Is that kind of why women sometimes, not all women, some women, pursue or show liking to men that are taken or have, or
that
dad,
is so different.
Or dad's kid, like that look good with their child, or in a relationship.
Maybe. I feel like maybe. I mean, for me, I think it's more of like a competitive thing.
Does it boost the intrigue level? Like something must be going on over there.
That's it. The intrigue increases. But for me, and this isn't like, oh, I'm such a super moral person, whatever. But as soon as I find out someone is with someone, it's just over for me. It's done, because I'm like, this is already too long now.
What if, that's very good because it brings me straight back. What if the person showing you attention, right? You like them too. Everything's rosy. Then you find out, this is just based off what you said, you find out that they're in a relationship with someone, right?
Yeah.
Now it becomes unwanted attention to you because you don't want this. Would you then...
I bring up their girlfriend as often as I can.
But what if they're just disregarding that?
Then why on earth would this be someone I want? Do you know what I mean? I feel so like, what game are you playing if someone has been flirting and just wasted my time, and then I find out that they're already with someone, and then all I think is, thank God I'm not that girl, because that is sad.
Do you believe that in that situation? Obviously, we'll touch on this more in our one of our upcoming episodes that we've got. But do you believe in that situation, if somebody treats one person like that, they're gonna do the same to you?
Yeah.
Automatically.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. When that happens, I never take it as like, oh, I'm so special or whatever, or oh my God, this. I literally just see it as a huge character flaw in them. And it's so hard for me to not look at it like that. Like, it just changes your opinion, especially because attraction isn't just how someone looks. Like, attraction is everything. Like, what they say, how they say it, like blah, blah, blah. So as soon as that happens, you're just not attractive to me anymore.
Yeah.
There's nothing more attractive to me than a stand-up guy, you know? Like, it's true. Like, someone who's doing what they need to do in the right way, that is attractive, and you can find them attractive from afar.
Yeah.
But as soon as you're trying to do something different, it's just not attractive anymore.
I get it. I do get it.
Okay, so hypothetically, say so in this hypothetical, you're single. Say if you're getting attention from someone who does have a partner, but the attention is interesting because it does feel, and you can always tell when someone's like attracted to you and stuff like that, or gives you a little extra attention and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, it's still friendly. What do you do in those situations? Like, how do you...
So it's friendly attention.
Yeah.
But it's not like... It's borderline, yeah?
It's enough for you to know.
Do I know that she's got a partner?
Yeah.
Do I know the partner? I'm joking.
Oh, hear my silence, blah, blah.
No, I'm messing around. No, do you know what it is, yeah? Once I actively know that somebody's got someone, and they've, it kind of just...
It changes things, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. If I don't know and I find out...
Because then you start looking at them like, oh, you're not a good person then, you know?
Yeah, but then you know what it is as well? This is like part of my hypothetical to you. It's slightly different, but it's like, you know, like, you could be getting unwanted attention from someone, but then they can just catch you at the right moment or the wrong moment.
When you're vulnerable.
Yeah. And then that's how it turns into, all right.
But that's exactly what I mean when I was talking about earlier, like when people give you unwanted attention and how it feels entitled, and like with that person, for example, who's posing as your friend, because it just feels like vulture-y, like
waiting
you're
for the window of opportunity.
yeah, it's like, oh my God, you're just waiting for the pigeons to be done so you can come. Like, it's just yeah, I feel strongly about it because that's what I mean. It feels very opportunist and inauthentic. You know?
Those situations are so like techie because they like I said, it can just be literally a timing issue.
I've got a good hypothetical. What about unwanted attention from a superior at work or something, like a manager or a team leader or a supervisor?
I'll be honest, as I've gotten older, I'd like crossing those lines is just not even worth it. Maybe a younger me might have considered it and just went with the experience just to say that I've done it. But you know better, you do better, right?
Yeah.
What was I gonna ask you? How about unwanted attention from a male friend or a female friend, either or? Someone that you really look at as bro or sis or whatever, but they're just on
then
you.
Don't be naive. That's not your friend.
But say if you've been friends for ages and they've just like grown this liking towards you.
Nah, that's sad. As my friend.
She said that's sad, you know.
That is sad. That's heartbreaking because this whole time, like, think of what a friend means to you, you know, like you go to them in times of need, like you've put so much, there's a different level of conversation that you have with your friends than you have with a potential, like you really put trust in that person and it feels like a betrayal, like, oh, and this whole time you've liked me, like that's not, were you even my friend? And are you going to be my friend now that you know, it's just, see, I'm stammering. I've never been in this situation, by the way, but I am stammering
but
because
you've heard of it before.
Yeah, I've got like someone in mind that I'm thinking of who's going through that, and it is sad. Like they're very upset about it because it's true. Like this whole time we've been friends for so long. Firstly, why would you not say anything? You know, off the bat. Now you want to spring it on me years later when you've seen me date other people.
Sitting in the back, just
why have you hurt
up.
yourself and now you're trying to drag me into it? Like you have to be, that's not your friend. And I think again, it's manipulative to just wait on the sidelines, befriend someone with the intention of it turning into someone else.
But that might not have been the initial attention though.
True.
They might have actually genuinely enjoyed you.
I feel like if you were friends at the start and then the dynamic develops and then one person catches feelings for another, then that is a bit different.
How would you deal with that?
You have to say it. Like you have to say it to the person. You have to be honest. Because you are friends. Like you owe that to your friend. You do. You know, unless you yourself don't want to ruin the friendship and you decide to deal with that on your own. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not going to pursue it. That's what I would consider okay. It is not okay to have those feelings early on in the friendship or even at some certain point and not say it for ages and yet like let years or months go by and let this whole friendship build for one person, whereas for you a whole love thing has built for you. Do you know what I mean? It's not fair because then you're just expecting someone else to feel the same way.
Makes sense.
For no reason.
Yeah.
You
but
know?
Again, you're going with your feelings, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Like if that's just the way you feel about someone, you're gonna...
Yeah, like if that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel. But then you can't like mention it and say, but I've loved you since blah, blah, blah. What the... What? Really?
Yeah, that's very...
That's mad. You can't do that. It's not fair to put someone in that position.
Oh, that's a bit wild. Have you ever been
hypothetically or
no real life? Have you
Okay.
Have you ever read it wrong and realized that you're giving someone unwanted attention?
Let me think. Let me think. I'm thinking because I feel like I have, but I only feel like I have because I feel like I'm also gaslighting myself because I can't think of any time that I've done
Think of a
that.
specific time, yeah. I feel I can't even speak. For some reason, I feel like everybody's ever.
Okay, I have actually. I feel like I've given people attention. I'm not going to say unwanted, but I've given people attention without realizing that they're in a relationship.
All right.
And then when that's been known, then I kind of do have to back off. But it's hard. Like, not hard as in like it's hard to back off. It's just not a difficult situation to navigate. Like, obviously there's a little bit of an adjustment that you have to make for yourself, because you're like, okay, I need to like put boundaries in for myself now, you know, and have certain things that you do talk about, certain things that you don't talk about, and stuff like that. What about you?
I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure pretty much.
Wait, have you ever or would you ever, hypothetically, say if there's someone who's consistently giving you unwanted attention, and then out of boredom or whatever, like say if they catch you on the right day, would you ever return the attention? And then how do you navigate that situation moving forward when you're no longer in that place? What do you do?
I don't know how you would I know how you would do it, but it's kind of harsh because it's like you almost feel like you've used them in your time of weakness.
Or given them what they wanted.
Yeah.
And have been pursuing for ages.
I feel like if you're within your right, actually, let me take that all the way back. You're within your right. Like,
they've offered the use. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're within your right. And as long as you make it crystal clear, I think it's just as long as you have clear lines of communication that this ain't going further than this, then it is what it is.
Is that something that you'd say, like, in that situation?
It depends on the person. If I feel like this person is going to be an annoyance to my life after this, then 100%.
A rash.
If I just feel like it's someone that's going to get it,
then
we don't really need to speak. Like, we just both know what it is. But if it's someone that I can just feel like, let me just lay down the law here. But I feel you're within your right to do that.
What are the signs where you can tell that someone's going to be annoying?
From how they're behaving before you've even entertained it. Like your hair constantly. Why? Like,
how many times do you need to walk past my desk or say hello?
Like, why are you always
why are you always there?
I think that would be a very telltale sign.
Okay, hypothetically, what about unwanted attention non-physically? So like texting, social media, phone calls. What about that?
Shut it down. Shut it down. I'll tell them you can't. Or I'll just stop answering. One of the two. If I've told you and you still do it, I'm just going to stop answering. Because I've told you can't do this to me.
Yeah.
Don't do this to me.
What about... I'm thinking of how to phrase this because... And I don't know how, so I'm just going to keep it real. I'll just tell you what it is. So one situation that I find quite like... is when there's someone that you kind of do want attention from, but they only give you attention at a certain time that you know is a certain type of attention. Do you know what I mean? Like, say if they message later in the night.
And you're like, I would talk to you, but I would love for you to message me daytime.
Not at my bedtime. Yeah. Yeah. What happens in that situation?
You've got to take control and control the narrative. If they're not responsive during the day, if there's not a clear reason for it, you are smart enough to know what it is. And it's up to you from there how you want to take it.
Yeah.
If you want to entertain it or not.
Yeah, I think so.
Because you're not going to be forced to respond. You can respond in the day. And if they don't respond in the day and only at night,
then I'll respond in the morning.
And you just keep going back and forth until someone cracks. And if they don't crack, then you know this was their intention all along. If they do crack, then maybe there was a reason why they was doing it at that time, and you can now discuss it.
Yeah, and have some boundary setting, you know. I think that's a good way to go about it. Like, just message them when you're available.
Yeah.
You know? And I won't lie, like when I was younger, I definitely did not understand that. And I would stay up and message.
It takes learning,
and be
though.
so tired. Even if it wasn't like that kind of a combo, I had to stop myself and think like, okay, like you're just available when they're available.
Yeah.
You have to like.
But even if you do like to speak to someone, yeah, when you think about it, I don't know, maybe adults still do it, but I remember being younger and just being on the phone throughout the night with someone. And now I'm older, I'm like, well, why? Like, why?
Honestly, same. Like when I was younger, it was my favorite thing to be on the phone, have a late night combo. Again, it doesn't need to be whatever, but it's just nice, you know, like it's nice to do that. And now, late night, I'm asleep way before late.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
You know?
It's crazy to do. To think all the things that we used to do.
When you're young.
Obviously, like
carefree.
Growing up, I've had to grow up in the era where you had to approach people when you see them. So of course there would have been times where you would approach someone and they don't want that attention.
Yeah.
But I can't think of like me pursuing somebody and not getting that type of response and continually pursuing someone. I can't imagine being that person.
Same.
That's a bit wild to me.
Same. And I don't understand the psychology behind it. Like, who taught you that this is going to work? Or who have you spoken to actually that it has worked with, you know? Because I feel like, has something happened where that person in their mind, they're like, yeah, if I do wear them down, like we said, like one day the opportunity will come when that person is more open to it.
That's scary to me, man. Like, you know, the guys that have conversations with themselves in girls' DMs. I don't understand. Like,
and that's why some people do need to be blocked. Like, they really do. You know, it's so easy to say, oh, it's so immature, blah, blah, blah. It's insane to keep messaging someone who isn't responding or who does not want to talk to you. Like, you have to remove them.
Let me ask you this. This is proper different. But imagine there's a guy that you like, yeah?
Yeah.
And then you see him leaving like heart emojis, heart eyes underneath like different random women's pictures on Instagram.
What a beg. Like, why? Who are these girls? Like, are they his friends?
No, you know he doesn't know them. Celebrities.
Okay, that's different. If he doesn't know them, because I genuinely, like, if it's different when it's people that you don't know. There's 3 categories with 3 different responses.
So you'd be okay with a guy that you're getting to know leaving heart emojis, eyes underneath.
Let me finish. Go on. So the only time that it's okay and my jealousy is at a low level is if that person is actually their friend. Do you know what I mean? Then it's different. Like, I never want to be that person who interrupts people's friendships. I think a good relationship is when you can blend that person into your life. So I wouldn't want to be someone who's, you know, being in the way of that. Then there's obviously all the other people who are just commenting under their stuff. You know, we've discussed it. I hate that. And then there's that category of the guy who just is active on social media. Page. Yeah. And that, to me, you know what? Let me not judge. You know, some people are fans and that's okay. And they're allowed to express themselves on social media. But if it's something that I don't really do, then I don't really want to be with. No, that's embarrassing. I don't want to do that because. Let me finish. Embarrassing for me. Like, say if some, like, I don't know, because. Like, what are you trying to achieve by coming on all these things? And I don't know. It makes you feel less special. Do you know what I mean? Imagine if, like, your friends... I feel like this is going to be the episode that cancels me. Yeah?
You know what's so funny, yeah? No, I'm just thinking of the psyche behind it, because you see me, yeah? When I use Instagram, on my, what would you call it, homepage... people that I follow, whatever, I'll just be liking. I just like.
Liking
yeah?
is different.
No, but I'm just saying,
Show
even
love.
me, in that, to that extent, if if there's a celebrity or something, or because I follow some like different type of pages, and sometimes they post different stuff in it, and if I subconsciously will be like, no, I've liked like one too many of this type of picture, let me skip. So imagine somebody that takes it that step further and is leaving a comment underneath every picture that this girl posts.
It's mad.
It's crazy.
It's so
There's some
mad.
celebrity girls that like rappers, not rappers, singers. Well, you could class it as a rapper. Someone I'm thinking of right off the top of my head, yeah. And she like posts pictures constantly, right? And sometimes I'll like without even recognizing it's her, just liking my homepage, yeah. Other times I'll actually take stock and be like, no, I'm not liking that today because it's too much. It's too much. Like,
and you know what? Yeah, and people will see your name like constantly liking every single pic. But I don't know. With celebrities, it's a bit different.
Of course it is.
Because I'm just like,
I would never be doing that to someone that I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know celebrities.
I know people who do that. Like, they'll literally be leaving
on the random people
thing. Because, you know, when my profile was open, well, I don't have Instagram now, but like when I did and my profile was public, random guys do that. Like, they'll just randomly, you know, leave fire emojis or whatever.
Crazy.
I find that so weird. Like, you could just DM me.
But then maybe that's their way of like making sure you see it.
But then it's like, have you just gone on a love hot spree? Like, I can't be the only page. I am not gassed enough to think that I'm the only one. There's no way.
That is crazy.
So no, that's a lot. That's way too much. Liking pictures is fine. I actually don't have an issue with that. It does mean that I'm gonna like that celebrity less, unfortunately.
Really?
I wish I wasn't this way, but yes.
It's interesting.
I hate it.
Even if they're like completely removed, like they're all the way in America, like deep America.
But they're everywhere on TV, music, radio, blah blah blah.
That's interesting.
I just don't like it.
That's interesting.
I really don't.
I don't know what
like
to say
I really hate it when guys go on and on about this one female celebrity that they love, and I'm like, well, go find someone like that. I'm getting riled up even thinking about it now. Like, I really don't like it.
But yeah, that's another subject for another day.
Celebrity crushes coming soon.
You clearly know your stance on it.
I've said what I've said and I stand by it. I do not like it. And again, I wish I was more mature than this, but I'm just not. We all have our things.
Fair enough. I mean, that's fair. I don't really agree, but it's fair.
It just makes my blood boil. Like, I don't... Go talk to your friends about it. I'm not your friend. Like, why would you talk to me about someone you find attractive that isn't me if we're talking to each other?
No, that's not even the same thing. I can't even agree with you on that. That's not even the same thing.
How?
Because you can find someone attractive and not necessarily that doesn't mean that's the only thing you find attractive.
Like, hypothetically, with your girl, like, would you be going on and on about another celebrity woman and be like, oh my God, I just find her so attractive. Like, she's so... Exactly. Isn't that a weird thing to do?
It's a weird thing to do, but even if I did, like, say, oh yeah, she's nice or whatever. Cool, innit? She is nice. What? Does that mean that you're not to me now?
It means you are disrespectful.
No, that's crazy. You're not the only woman in the world, though. You're not the only woman in the world. That's super unrealistic to expect that.
You have friends. Go
no,
talk to your
obviously, but I mean, like, obviously, yeah, that's what I mean. I wouldn't like purposely just go out my way and be like.
I wouldn't expect you to not have the thought. Do you know what I mean? Like,
if we're watching something together and like, I'm just like, oh yeah, she looks nice there. She looks nice. I can't
would
say that.
Hate that.
I can't say that.
I would think about it the whole episode.
That's crazy.
It's not crazy.
It's different if I'm like, that's crazy.
Really?
For me to a passing comment.
Maybe it is crazy, but I don't like it. I actually do not like it. I have a jealousy issue. And I'm not even trying to heal it. Like, I said what I said.
Do you know what, Cam? I'm going to do you a favor.
Don't.
I'm going to call this episode to a close. So you stop ruining your market.
That's so true. I'm just never going to. No, you know what? Nothing's ruined. If you are a female who gets jealous sometimes, own it, because it happens and you have to accept your flaws. We don't judge ourselves here.
What we will do is we'll come back on an episode about jealousy and you can air your grievances, because I feel like you've got a lot to say.
I've got a lot to... You know what? That's a plan. That's a plan.
Definitely.
That is a plan.
But to round up this one...
Yes.
What would be your
unwanted attention?
What would be your wise
that
words?
Hypothetical had me spun.
Clearly, it's not a hypothetical. That's why. What would be your words of advice for dealing with unwanted attention?
My word of advice. My word of advice with unwanted attention. I don't know, I don't know. I actually don't have. Let me think. You say it first.
My word of advice from both perspectives. On receiving unwanted attention, I would say be clear with your communication that this is not what you want. And on giving unwanted attention,
use your mind is my word of advice. Use your mind. Look at where you are. That's what I would say.
I say be brave and go forth.
Oh my God. Right, there we go. Word of advice. To those giving, think twice. To those receiving, say it once loud.
Yeah.
That's the word of advice.
Yeah, man, don't be scared to try.
No, you know what my word of advice is actually? Don't be afraid to block people. That's my word of advice, especially for women, because some men or women don't understand what no means, and it is stressful. Like it is. I know it seems so easy to say, "Oh, just ignore it," blah blah blah. You are perfectly within your right to ask for your day to not be ruined.
Especially when it's excessive. I agree.
Yeah. So use that block button. Build that list.
Yeah, that's your forte. And on that note, thanks for joining us with another episode.
Yes, thank you.
And then follow us on socials.
Please don't hate me now. Stay tuned for the jealousy episode.
Hit our DMs with any messages towards Cam if you want to get to know her.
Yeah, no, don't. What? I didn't even register that.
Now hit us up with any questions, dilemmas, etc.
Yeah, any words of advice that you may have.
Any stories?
If you have an opinion.
Any
stories. What's your stance?
How have you dealt with unwanted advice?
Exactly.
Advice? Unwanted attention. Might be unwanted advice.
You know what?
We're
done here. We're done.
Right. Until next time, people.